just wanted to take a quick minute to tell you how you can get almost $250 worth of free bonuses that will teach you how to improve your desire, how to have more libido, how to get the right tests done to figure out the root causes of low libido from a physical perspective. This is for men and women. And you do this by pre-ordering a copy of my book. My book is coming out in late fall. Projected date is November 1st. And in my book, we're going to talk about all sorts of physical root causes for low libido, how to help pelvic pain, how to help erectile dysfunction, how to help vaginal dryness, how to do this together in your partnerships, and so much more. And when you pre-order a copy, I am giving you almost $250 worth of bonuses right away for your support. So to get that, you simply go to wanttowantit.com or look in the show notes for that direct link. So wanttowantit.com, the name of my book. Now back to our show. Hey everybody, Dr. Diane, your libido doc here, talking about in long-term relationships how to create new date nights and new experiences. Because one of the things we see, right, in long-term scenarios is not only do people get into a rut in their intimate and physical life, but people get into a rut in their dating life and emotional life. And many of the times we're not even prioritizing this. I watched a really cute and I thought very clever thing that came across my feed yesterday in one of my social media accounts, which was a little clip of somebody talking about how in long-term relationships couples flirt. And one of the scenes was this woman and she's sitting in the chair and the man comes up and he's like, I put the kids away and I ordered takeout, and she's like raising her eyebrows and like, oh yeah baby, kind of thing. And that's what happens, right, in like long-term relationships is like it's so easy to just be like, okay, well, we're just gonna sit like make it about getting the things done and taking it off each other's plates, and that's amazing. But where does the passion go in all that? And so many people in their long-term relationships wind up craving that and putting that aside versus saying, hey, we can still prioritize our marriage. We can prioritize our long-term relationship. And we can do that in context of the overwhelm, of the kids, of the career, all these different things. So one of the things that we want to do in this video is talk about that. I'm going to definitely encourage you to download my yes, no, maybe checklist, because that has ideas as well for how to bring novelty back. A lot of how we're driven from a standpoint of desire and passion is in newness, right? A lot of that motivation to have passion and excitement is because something is new. That's where that new relationship energy is. That's why people can get really excited about a new hobby and then they fall in love with it and they get obsessed with it, right? All of that is because there's that new energy. And so in my yes, no, maybe checklist, that's a free guide for you with additional ideas beyond this video, both from a standpoint of physical intimacy as well as emotional intimacy and date night. So here's some ideas for you just to think about, hey, how can you create a new thing? And if you want my yes, no, maybe checklist, that is at mysexdoc.com. Okay, but here's some ideas. Recreate your first date. As long as it was good, but see if you can kind of find a way of recreating that vibe at home even. Like, is it the same meal? Do you remember the music? Is there anything that there's that nostalgia? Bring up what you remember, right? Recreate like what it was like when they walked into the room for the first time. Do you remember that moment, right? My partner talks about when he walked in, we met at a wine bar for one of our first times, and he walked in and all of a sudden his body just had like crazy goosebumps just by seeing my backside. He hadn't seen any more of me and just like knew it was me from my backside, and his body had like just tingles and like this crazy sensation, and that's like, a very sweet thing to hear. So what was that experience? Like, what do you remember? Do you remember the conversation? Do you remember the feeling? And just really try to recreate that, right? You could have an adventure night, trying something new. Remember, novelty is how we get passion and desire back. And that's novelty in the bedroom, but it's also novelty out of the bedroom. And so what can you do for adventure, right? What are you both interested in? Are you interested in an escape room? Are you interested in a dancing class? Are you interested in taking a stargazing class? Are you interested in going and seeing a laser light show, right? The idea is, hey, how can you build excitement around this? And then with the dates, it's like, then we can even bring it up like, okay, well, what would be a fun thing to wear? I'm seeing some couples really do well with things like, going out for, special nights and kind of like owning a vibe together where it's not like they're dressed alike. It's not like, well, you wear blue, I wear blue. But like, what is the vibe? Or how can you even bring, and so you walk into that room and you know that you are together, right? You're the vibe of like what you're wearing. What about a game night? Are you into games? And by games, I'm not talking about, double solitaire or something like that. What I'm talking about is sensual game night, right? Can you think of, playing something like spin the bottle? And obviously there's just two of you in the scenario, but spin the bottle. And when it lands on you, then it's like a game of truth or dare. And perhaps the dare is something that is, more sensual, right? And, you can get into some playfulness, like tell me your favorite fantasy, right? You could use that with my yes, no, maybe checklist at mysexdoc.com. You can use it there in order to say, okay, well, if this is sensual, then you can bring that checklist in and say, okay, well, truth, pick something about off the checklist. Tell me about why this fantasy you love, right? Tell me about why you're not into that thing. I really want to know, right? Think about other things. Like, would it be a, cute thing to go down like memory lane, like go out and have a picnic and say, okay, well, we're going to talk about, what is your memory of our first kiss? What is your memory of the first time we made love? What is your memory of the first date we had? What is your memory of the first vacation? What is your memory of when the child, our first child was born? And when we do this, right, the more we can bring in a level of, okay, surprise and fun, like, keeping it flirty around, oh yeah, I remember the way you looked at me, and this is like what I was experiencing in my body, and this is what I was thinking about, and this is what I wanted to do to you, and this is what I wanted us to do, right? Bringing in some of that flirt. Another thing, if you haven't taken a minute yet to go to wanttowantIt.com to get your bonuses, almost $250 worth of free bonuses for pre-ordering my book, I recommend you do that now. We're going to go through so many reasons and so many solutions to fixing low libido for both men and women. It is action-packed with solutions from supplements to diet to lifestyle to lab tests you should talk to your doctor about to physical routines you can change. So many things designed to help support estrogen and testosterone and circulation and erectile dysfunction, vaginal dryness, so much more. So if you go to wanttowantIt.com, you can find that book for pre-order, and you can also then take advantage of the almost $250 worth of bonuses I am giving away for pre-order that will not be available for long. Now let's get back to our episode. That is amazing, and I find this can help with that climax gap as well as like an at-home spa night. And while this might like intrigue a woman initially a little more, what is it like to have like a complete spa night where you are having candles and massages and bubble baths, and you're taking turns giving each other, foot massage and chest massage and your erogenous zone massage, all of those different types of things. So what we're doing with this is we're trying to figure out, okay, how can we bring in novelty? How can we bring in shared activities? And I really do find that oftentimes in long term, having new hobbies where you can do it, do things together. So maybe it's, wine tasting, maybe it's beer tasting, maybe it's art class, maybe it is photography, maybe it is birding, like whatever it is. But, are you both interested in art? Are you both interested in sports? Is there a new sport you can play together? Right? My partner's been playing golf since he was a kid, and I just started picking up golf this summer and taking golf lessons. And it's been exciting because now, now we're going out on the weekends and like trying out these new courses. I'm still on baby courses at this point, par threes, but it's been a really exciting thing because it's like this new experience, and we can build, date nights and activities and check out different parts of town and, and meet new people on the golf course. So it's been a new activity that we can bring in. So is there anything like that you can say, hey, now we have a new shared activity where, now we can talk about, and, it's been very cute, like him helping me with my golf swing and those kind of things. And some partners do well with coaching each other, others do not. But it can be a new flirty thing to do together. So what are the activities you could do? How can you bring the flirt into it? Remember, like most people, this comes up a lot on podcasts I'm on, is how to flirt, right? That comes up a lot. And, you can look up like top ways to flirt, right? You can certainly look up your top ways to flirt. But what I find is that many times when people are looking it up, it doesn't feel like if they say something, it doesn't feel authentic to them. So one of the things that I have found that is like the best way to flirt is to start just talking about like the things that you love, like, love about them, the way they look and the way they touch you, but the way they engage with you, the things they say in the bedroom that you love, right? The way they touch you in the bedroom, they love, like what they wear that really turns you on. Make it real, make it truthful, make it true to your experiences, and bring it into that intimacy space. And when we do that, we can oftentimes make it like way more authentic around, hey, I am sharing this thing that I love about you, but in that kind of intimate, physical, intimate space. And, we share like the things that we want more of, like, oh, I fantasize about you doing X, Y, and Z, right? That is how we begin to flirt. And that is, I find, way more authentic than, it's almost like some of the guides I've seen online around like how to flirt can almost come across like how to pick up a female or male, like how to pick up a lover. And they can be cheesy, right? They come off as like lines. And, I know my partner talks about what he figured out when he was in his 20s, like the best way to pick up a girl is he would just go up to somebody that he thought was cute and say, hey, are you having fun tonight? And there's not really a line there. And, he quickly realized how well it worked. And one of the things he discovered with it was that he could tell very quickly by a woman's answer around like how they would engage from that, around like if they were probably a fun and enjoyable person to be around, positive, that sort of thing. So again, that's just like being natural and taking something really simple and using that as a pickup line. And same thing with flirting. When we're talking about all these nights, we're talking about, our date night, our sensual escapades, we're bringing in past memories of it. The more we can say, hey, the way that you kissed me in this way, oh my gosh, this is what it did to my body. This is what it did to my erogenous zones. And to make it real, the more it's like, it can still be very flirty and it can still have that vibe, but it's going to be true to you. And it's not going to be like trying this like cheesy thing that is probably not going to be well said if you're reading it off of a how to flirt guide, right? It's going to be way easier to think about what is essentially true for you and sharing that with a partner. And that can help a lot. So I hope this stimulated some ideas on dates, memory walk night, recreating your first date, bringing back, some level of adventure, trying new things, doing new things together, exploring a hobby. Think about like where in nature you want to go together, what you would want to do, right? Are there any like swanky hotels that you would love to check out? And even if you can't afford to stay overnight, like, can you have date night and just like get in the vibe and get all dressed up and just go have a drink at the bar, right? Go have an appetizer and just like get in that vibe of swankiness, if that's your thing. So please do download the checklist that I mentioned in this video. I think it can really also help you with some of these ideas. I would love to gift that to you. And that's all for now. Ciao for now.